So today we'll discuss about the kernel upgrade, kernel patch upgrade, and also SAP start and stopping procedures. Right here, so I think you guys know how to stop and start the SAP systems. Right? Suppose so if it is the Windows systems, SAP starting procedure or stopping procedure. So if it is the Windows systems, it's a very easy. So you can go to the SAP MMC, then here select the SID, then you can stop, start, restart. Okay. So when you use this button, stop and start button, what will happen exactly? When you use just SID and right click and stop it, so here what will happen? Here the first it will stop the SAP app servers, application servers, it will stop it, and then ASCS instance will be stopped. ASCS will be stopped last. ASCS will be stopped last. So this is the order of stopping the procedures. So if someone asks you, can you tell me the order of stopping the SAP procedures, SAP systems, right? So SAP app servers, application servers, we have to stop it. Then SAP AS instance, we need to stop it. Then so database, we have to stop it. DB. This is the complete stopping procedure, full down stopping procedure, right? Full down stopping procedure. This is the stopping procedure of the SAP system. Stopping procedure of the SAP systems. Then what about the starting procedure, right? We want to start the SAP. We want to start the SAP. Then what you have to do, you need to start the database first, then SAP ASCS instance first, then SAP app servers, you need to start it. App servers, you need to start it. This is the order of starting procedure. This is the order of the starting procedure. This order we have to follow anywhere. But when you are starting from MMC, the order will be followed automatically. The order will be followed automatically, means it will take the order here. See here, it started here. So when you are stopping, so just you can stop the SAP application servers. Application servers means, right? Where the dispatchers, dial work process all are available. That is the application server. Then right click and stop it, right? Then yes, yes, finally you need to start it. So while starting, reverse order you need to follow. Just right click and start the ASCS. So what happens if I don't start ASCS? If I start SAP application server, it won't start it. It won't start it. And also you cannot log in also. You cannot log into the SAP systems. You may get the license invalid check, license error check. So like that, you may get the errors. You cannot log into the systems. Okay, so this is the order you need to follow the systems. So if it is the Windows, we can use this method, right? So if it is the non-Windows, if it is the non-Windows means Linux and everything, for non-Windows, you have to operate through commands only, right? You have to operate through commands. So in this case, what you have to do in the Linux-based systems, you need to execute the stop SAP command. Stop SAP and ASCS instance and instance number, you have to use it, right? Only if you want to stop the ASCS. Suppose you want to stop the application server, then stop SAP D up instance number, D instance number. So you can use this stop SAP, start SAP. Then if you want to start it, then start SAP. So then ASCS instance number. So right, if you want to start again the application servers, then you can start the this one. You can start this instance number, something like that. We can start it. Otherwise, if both are ASCS and your application server running on the one host, maybe you can also use the stop SAP command. You can also use the stop SAP all, which means it will stop the whatever the services are running on the host, maybe your application server and ASCS instance, both will be stopped in order. right? So that is the order of stopping. If you want to stop individually, then you need to use these commands, stop and start commands, right? If you want to stop all at a time, then just execute the stop SAP all. So nowadays, some kernels, like latest kernels, so stop SAP, start SAP, and it is not working. So what you have to do in that case, in the Linux level, you need to use the SAP control command, SAP control command, SAP control -nr space instance number hyphen function. So stop system, right? Stop system or start system. Stop system, in place of stop system, you may get like, so start system. So this one you have to use it. Stop system. So start system SID or stop system SID and the stop service SID. So like that you need to provide the, so some SIDs to stop only SCP start SRV, or you want to stop everything. So you have to use these commands. Okay. So some cases you have to use this command, some cases you have to use this command. So sometimes if you have the MMC in the Windows server, best option to use the MMC is to stop and start it. Got it? So this is the way, this is the order of starting and stopping, and also these are the commands we have to use it for stopping and starting it here. Right? Now you know how to stop and start the systems, right? Now you know, right? So just if you want to here, just right click and stop and start, right? So here sometimes it's the Windows systems, right? When you stop it or when you start it, it won't come up. Why? Because due to this some shared memory related issues, it won't come up here. It won't come up here. In this case, so you need to use the, so you need to restart the, so Windows machine. You need to restart the Windows machine. That time it will work it out, right? So this way we can log in and we can start it, right? And after login, what we have to check, right? So whenever you log into the system, it will go to role in user context, the logon procedure we discussed, right? And role in user context. Then after that, it will check the query in the buffers. Then if the buffers are available, data is available in the buffers, immediately you will get the results here. Immediately you will get the results here. If not, then it will go to the database level. It will pick up the data from the system database level. Then it will throw the data to here. That is what we discussed, right? Do you guys remember, right? Am I audible, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Then at least you answered. Yes, I'm audible. Okay. So yeah, this is what we discussed. So okay, fine. So then this is the order of starting and stopping procedures. Okay. So now let's talk about the how to then kernel upgrade. So we have yesterday we have decided kernel upgrades. So we have decided, and now let's discuss about the kernel upgrades. Okay. So kernel upgrades, we will discuss about the kernel upgrades here. So here sometimes you may have to restart the, so SAP start SRV service also. In that case, you have to use the same commands, but stop service SID, start service SID, something like that. You have to use it. Some cases, just if you use the stop system, then it will stop it. Start system, it will start it. IN means instance number. Suppose SAP control -nr, your instance number is the 10, then 10 function, then stop system and start system commands. You have to use it. Stop system and start system commands, you have to use it. So these are the commands we have to follow, right? So that is the starting and stopping procedures here. So let's do kernel upgrade, kernel upgrade or kernel patching, right? Kernel upgrade or kernel patching here. Same concept here. To perform the kernel upgrade, so to kernel upgrade, so we have the some procedure steps we have to follow. The procedure steps we have to follow, right? The first one, so we need to we need to check the, first of all we need to check the current kernel version in the system. Current kernel version, we can check it out. How to check it out? Anyone knows how to check the current kernel version?
system on status.
Okay, system
The
status.
display plus work.
Yes, right. System status and also and this plus work. Excellent. So this plus work. These two commands we have to use it to check the kernel versions. Why? Because without knowing our current kernel version, how can we check? Right? Just to go to the here, then you can check it out the kernel version. So why we are getting this compiling means, so maybe some data overwritten or something is dead. So we need to run the sgen always. When you run the sgen, you won't get this type of compilation here. So we have to run the sgen. We have to run the sgen. We have to run it here in the systems. So here, if we go to the here system status, not the system status. So maybe we have to go to the SM51. Some system status is for the product information. The kernel also will be displayed, but if you want to see detailed information, you need to go to the SM51. There is a option release nodes. If you open the release node, you will come to know what is your kernel 754 and what is your patch level 100 patch level. So you can see your kernel is the 754 and your patch level is the 100 patch level. So this is the version, right? Each kernel, each version, there is a sub patch levels, right? We can update the sub patch level or we can upgrade the main version also, we can upgrade it here, right? So this is the way we can find out the kernel level. Otherwise, in the OS level, you can log in, you can use the this+work command, so that it will give the information of the your current kernel version and the patch level, sub patch level. So kernel is the very important for the SAP. So it's a binary. Yesterday we discussed it, right? So here, if you go to the here, so every folder there is a USR, SAP, and SID, right? So we have the SID. So here we have the sysexe kernel files are there here. Sysexe. Here all are the kernel files here. All are the kernel files here. All are the kernel files here. So without this kernel, your SAP system will not be up here. Immediately it will be down if you delete something here. So these are the binaries are working here. Your stop SAP, start SAP, some IGS, some dispatcher working means because of the backend, their related kernel files are exist. That is the reason we are able to do the stop and start SAP commands, stop SAP commands, start DBS command. All these commands are working because of the in the backend. All the binaries are exist in the systems, right? It's a very important. But so as per recommended to have update the kernel patch every 3 months once and every 6 months once. Why? Because so in the new kernel, the kernel always OS level, right? There are the many bug fixes. So we may get the bug fixes, some security vulnerabilities. So to fix this one, sometimes we may have to update our kernel patch level to the latest versions. We have to update it. So update our kernel patch level to latest versions. We have to update it here. So for that one, what we have to take here, what we have to do. So in this case, we need to take the current status of the kernel. We need to check it out. Then we need to check the current to kernel version information we need to check. Then, so based on that, so download the then target kernel patch level. Means download the target kernel or latest patch level, which is there in the service marketplace. In the service marketplace, what is the latest patch level it is available? From there, you can check out this one, service marketplace here, right? So then after that, so you need to check with the downtime window. Why? Because kernel upgrade, it's required the restart of your stopping the your SAP applications, all these things. So you may have to do in the weekends only. Weekends means Saturday, Sunday, there is no business, off business hours. I mean to say off business hours. In this case, you need to you need to check with you need to check with the customer manager. You need to check with the customer for a downtime. So downtime approval. When we have to do that, this downtime approval and everything here. Then so the one more check I'm just checking. One more step I'm repeating here. That is called the review the review the kernel release note always. Can release note what issues are fixed and everything. We need to review that kernel release note. We have to fix it, right? Then so copy the once you downloaded, right, copy the new kernel to SAP app server level, application server level, OS level. You have to copy it here. Where your SAP installed OS level, you need to copy it, then extract it. You need to extract it using what is the command? SAP car command. You have to extract this all these things. You have to extract it. Keep it ready. Then so take the backup of your existing kernel. Take the backup of your existing kernel. Then stop SAP stop SAP app servers, including your ASCS instance. You no need to stop the database here. Why? Because you are upgrading only. So this one, right? Stop the SAP app server, including ASCS instance. You need to stop it. Once that is done, then so replace the copy the new kernel, copy the new kernel files into existing exe directory. Maybe you can copy to the sys exe directory. That is the global directory. You can copy it there. Once that is done, then then start SAP. If it is the Linux, if it is the Linux, if it is the Linux system, you need to execute the /sap root sh script from root user. In the kernel directory. You have to execute it from root user. So why we have to run this one? To correctly set the permissions and UID and groups. Correctly set the permissions and groups here. Then that is the optional for the Windows systems. But for the Linux based systems, definitely you need to execute this one. Same steps for the Linux also, but here the extra additional step, ninth step is the additional systems here. Then start SAP systems, then perform the health checks. Perform the health checks. We can perform it. Health checks we can perform it. Everything is coming or not. So while starting, you may face the issues here. Why? Because if you have not done correctly, if you have not followed correctly, then definitely you may face the issues. So before you do the kernel upgrade, so make sure so you have to follow the steps correctly. That's why I have clearly drafted the steps here, right? So you can see here. Now let's go practical now. Okay, now let's go practical. Now we have identified the kernel version 75400 is our patch level. So now check the latest which is available here. Latest which is available in the marketplace. Let me check that one. Let me check that patch levels what is available in the service marketplace. So kernel means, are you able to see my screen, right? Okay, yes, I think I can share my screen.
Yes,
okay. Yeah, kernel means here two files, mandatory files are the kernel files. One is the SAP exe, so SAP exe DB. So one is the DB independent, one is the DB dependent file. These two files we have to download from the service marketplace. So how to download means I will show you here. Okay, how to download means I will show you here. Go to the software downloads here. Okay, here go to the support pack and patches here by alphabetical index, K for kernel, right? So go to the kernel. So here, so just a 64-bit. Ours is a 64-bit Unicode versions. It supports the multiple languages. So normally all will use it. So 754, right? So we have the C here versions. So if you go 754 to 777, that is the release upgrade. That is the release upgrade. That is the release version you are changing. Only kernel patch we are doing, right? That is called the kernel patch upgrade. Kernel patch upgrade you are doing this one. So that is the reason. So normally while going for the release upgrade, there is a restrictions, which means your SAP version should be this version and like that. So that is the reason we'll go for the, we are in the 754, in the 754 itself. So we have the, what is the latest version, we need to check it out. Ours is the Windows and it's like DB independent file. So we are downloading the DB independent file, which means SAP exe file we are downloading it here, right? SAP exe, then one is the DB dependent file, SQL server. Ours is the SQL server. Then download the this one. This one also you need to download it here. So two files we have to download from the service marketplace. SAP exe, SAP exe DB. So what is our kernel version? 754. Only 100 patch level we have exist. 100 patch level we have exist here. 100 patch level we have exist here. So 100 patch levels. So which means we are going to the 200 now. Latest available in the 200 now, which was released on the 6th month. 6th month which is released, right? Release date is the 6th month. So it's 100 patch levels. So we are going to the 100 to 200 level. Each and every patch level, there is a updates. There is a fixes will be implemented. Always as a best practice, when you are upgrading the kernel, you need to always go to the so content information, which means so what are the issues are fixed in the, so what are the issues are fixed in this list, all the information will be available here in the 200 patch level. What are the issues are fixed, and also the kernel release is 754 Unicode 64-bit version when it was compiled June 6th month, right? So May June month. So what is the patch level 200? So here you can see, so what is the table, which versions it is available. So 754 you can update to the 750 versions, NetWeaver 740, 750, 751, 752, 769. All these SAP versions you can update this one, right? Update this one, right? So here Windows platforms, what is the operating system, which is a, what are the issues it is fixed here. You can see here. So what are the issues here? Some crypto library related issues and always. So and also in the 200 patch level, so some like on conditions, some memory leaks, all kind of CPU consumption is very high. So Hadric situations, all this we are in the 100 patch levels. In the 100 patch levels to 200, how many issues in between? WebGUI error, WebGUI error, crash. Many issues are fixed here. That related note information is available here. So avoid the crash value. Many issues are there. In your organization, even a customer, if you are facing any one of the issues, core dump, suppose like cache errors. So suppose any CPU issues, high CPU, any issues related to this files, related to this error, then you have to update your kernel to the 200 patch level, which is there in the latest marketplace. You have to update this one. That's why whenever any issue comes, you don't find any clues, come to the kernel release note, then see whether your issue is notified to the here or not. If it is notified, we can just refer this note and we can update our kernel to the latest versions. So these are the issues are fixed in the kernel versions. So kernel versions, these are the issues are fixed in the systems. So in this case, what we have to do? So we need to download the kernels, right? Same as like we downloaded. Then make it into the one folder here, right? SAP exe, SAP exedb here downloaded, right? So then SAP softwares, then I will go to the here, then folder. So kernel new, something like that, kernel new, I kept it here, right? That is the old kernel which is available already available in the here, old kernel, that is the old kernel. So it's like SAP exe 1200. So it's an old kernel. So that does not require to us, right? New kernel, we will go for this one. So here we need to extract it. How to extract the kernels then? So we need to do the extract it. How to extract it? So we have to log into the. So we have to log into the. We have to log into the. So SID ADM, then we can extract it. Otherwise, you can copy the car file, go to the command prompt mode. Command prompt mode, I got it like, right? So go to the SAP car -xvf, then SAP exe, so underscore 200, the file name we have to give it, but I'm not giving an entire thing, just giving this one and just enter it. The file will be extracted. We need to extract it. Kernel files, we have to download it and we need to extract it. Why? Because all the new files will be created here. All the new files will be created here. So that is the reason I am just doing the, I'm extracting here. See, all are kernel related files. You can see all are kernel related files are we are extracting. All are kernel related files we are getting extracted. All are kernel related files we have extracted here. So you can see here.
There's one question, sir.
Yes.
We need to extract first DB dependent or independent.
So first we need to extract the SAP exe. Then only we have to extract the SAP exedb.
Okay.
So first we have to extract the SAP exe, which means so DB independent file we have to extract it. Then after that dependent file, independent files we have to extract it. So first we have to extract the SAP exe, which means DB independent database independent files. So we have the, like you can remember independence and after that dependence. Okay, dependence file. These are the DB dependence files. So otherwise SAP exe, SAP exe DB, simple. Okay, now SAP exe is extracted. Now I'm going to do the SAP exe DB. I'm going to extract it here. So DB means only DB related kernel files are there that is getting extracted here. So I think it's got extracted. So only less files here done, right? So we have the DB dependent files are extracted here. Then close it here. Close it. Everything is done. So as per our procedure, review the kernel node and copy the new kernel. Take the backup of existing kernel. We have to take it out. Extract it. We have done the extraction here, right? So extraction done. Then take the copy of the existing kernel. So how to take the backup of the existing kernel? So we have the kernel. So we have the existing kernel which is available in the USR. So SAP location. You have to tell the location. SID, then sys, so exe, right? Then what you have to do, you have to copy. Maybe you can place into the other folders, or you can just here only just use it. So it will copy to the. So it will give the copy. It will create the one more folder. So here SAP exe. Why? Because why we need to take the copy means suppose copy means backup. In the SAP language, we need to take the backup of the SAP folder, exe folder. Why? Because something goes wrong during the kernel upgrade. Maybe kernel upgrade is not done correctly. Your SAP system it won't up. If kernel is not up, SAP system it won't up. So in this case, what we have to do? Then we need to again roll back. We can roll back. Why? Because we have already old files are there. Then we can place this old files here. Now then what we have to do? We need to stop. We need to stop the system. We'll do the QAS. Okay. Then you guys perform the PRD. So I'm just stopping the, so yeah, so this kernel upgrade is easily can be rolled back. We can roll back to the previous versions if something is not working, right? So just I have stopped the, I'm stopping the QAS system. I am stopping here.
Sir, but we have taken PRD, right? Backup, not QAS, I think.
Yeah, but both are same, right? That backup also we can replace it, not a problem.
Okay.
Both are same, right? So in our case, both are running on the same kernel versions. So same, only SAD is different. So there is no in this case. We'll do QAS here. Okay. So what we have to do here, we need to stop the SAP services and everything. We have to stop it here. If any services in the MMC, you need to stop those services also. Then stopped it here, right? You have entirely stopped. When you are stopped, SAP cannot be available. SAP will not be available. That everybody knows, right? When SAP stopped, it's not be available. It's not available for everyone, so that you cannot log in. So that is the reason we have to do this work in the off business hours, stopping the SAP and everything. So in this case, what you have to do, you need to sysexe, we have taken the backup. Now go to the new kernel. Where is the new kernel? So we have, which you extracted, go to the SAP softwares, here new kernels. This is the new kernels here. So here in the new kernels, these files are not required here. SAP exe, SAP xedb, that's R files, right? It does not require. That's why I'm just unselecting. Copy. We have to replace it. Replace it on the just only one line here is very important. Copy the new kernel, then replace on the existing exe directory. Replace it on the existing exe directory. That's it. So then the new kernel will come. So why copy replace means? So copy means existing versions are the lower versions. You can see the date and everything. So if you copy everything, the new version will come. The new versions, new bug fixes will come. See here, almost everything is changed to the 620. 620 it is changed. So new version it came. New version it came to the here. Right? You can see the new version it came to the here now. Done. Right? All the files are new versions are released. So almost all files are replaced here. Right? Which means new kernel is updated here. Now go ahead and start the your your systems here. So go ahead and start the your system here. So while starting this one, so what I will do, I will rename the while starting this one. So you have the QAS, right? We have started the QAS, SAP, exe, right? This one. What I will do here. So normally we discussed the kernel is the very important to the SAP, right? So what happens if I just do the, if I remove the kernel files to the kernel.old file, what happens? What happens? Anyone can guess what happens? Why? Because I removed the kernel file from the folders. So which means not exe, that's something old one. So we discussed previously, right? Kernel is the very important to the SAP. Without kernel, while starting the SAP system, it always look the kernel files and everything, right? Now let's see here. Okay, let's see. Let you start the kernel here. Whether it will start or not, then we will come to know here. Okay. You got that different one, right? You can see what is that. It won't start. Even without starting the ASCS, how it will be start. It won't start, right? Now, this is the issues we may face. Right? Now you got it right, a different color, red color. So what does it mean? There is no, nothing is there here. So that's why it's unable to start it here. Why? Because kernel is the very important here. Kernel is the very important folder. Why? Because while SAP is starting, it always look the kernels. So kernel is the very important here. So let me go ahead and, so here what I did is I renamed it, which means it always should be the kernel, exe. Then let me go ahead and here, just to I am just revert back here. I just reverted the changes here. Just restart again. Okay, just restart again. It will start now. You've never seen this red color, right? So see here now. Now we got everything. Now it started. Yeah, always the Windows based systems, when you are starting the SAP systems, it won't start. Why? Because due to the shared memory related issues and other things, it won't start it. So how to troubleshoot it means if you go to the SAP systems here I can say, so some EM shared memory issues or something like that. So EM emergency, EM memory limit, which means shared memory related issues, EAP memory related issues. In this case, we need to restart the our OS we have to restart it. So then OS you have to restart it. Then we need to so bring up the systems. That is one we have to do that one. Okay. So while that is in progress, so just you have to just do the replace the kernel files into the existing exe directory ccexe. Sir, but you mentioned that we have the exe directories on the so one three locations, right? D instance number exe and right yesterday we discussed and also the ASCS exe. Three locations are there. Then why we are doing only kernel upgrade on the global exe directory? Why we are doing this one only on the global exe directory? So why we are doing in the global exe directory means one is enough here. So that so here this will be synced. The new kernel files which are there in the ccexe, it will be go to the so instance here, it will be synced here. Who will be synced means here. So this is the process SAP CPE utility program will copy the so kernel files, copy the new kernel files into the remaining exe directories, right? remaining exe directories remaining exe directories. This is the very important concept, right? So you need to remember. So most of the questions SAP CPE, not the U, SAP CPE utility program that will copy it will SAP CPE utility program that will copy the so all these things and everything here, right? You need to remember the that CPE utility program, right? So now it started, go to the, so MMC and you can start it, so that MMC and start it. Now you can see the, you can validate the new kernel version and everything, you can validate it. You can validate the new kernel versions and everything, you can validate it, right? So this is the way we have to do the kernel upgrade in our systems. Kernel upgrade in our systems we have to perform it. Go to the MMC, we can start it. The Windows, right? We have the MMC available. So we can go ahead and we can start the so systems here. In the Linux, then you need to use the so Linux, you won't face any memory, shared memory related issues. Directly, you can go ahead and stop SAP, start SAP commands. You can use it here, right? So that is the commands we can do that one. I think we have only one is received. What about the other one? Okay, quality. Oh, we have not started other one. So it will start automatically. So, but a delayed restart. So, but we need to wait for 2-3 minutes, then it will come automatically. Oh, it is not starting. You can see, yes, now it is started. Again, it is stopped. Again, this stopped. You can see it is not starting up. So something is happening here in the systems. Something is happened in the systems. I think that's why we have to allow system to bring up the system services. If we manually bring it, some clashes will happen. Yes, now you can see all are available. Now just start it. Okay, start it now. While starting, you can see always here. So this will start immediately. That is fine. So what about this one? That will start immediately. So if we done kernel upgrade kernel successfully, then so systems will be up here. Definitely systems will be started here. So if you not done correctly, then systems it won't start. Systems it won't start it. So that's the reason. So in that case, what you have to do, you need to roll back or we need to fix that issue. First of all, we need to fix that issue. What is that issue? Then we need to roll back. So why we have only less? Someone did something. Okay. So then BRD started. right? We already started. Now only thing is QAS we have updated here. So that one also I think is going to start it here. Now what you can do, you can start the SAP and check the kernel versions. You can check it out.
Sir, in what scenarios we perform this kernel update, sir?
So every 3 months once or 6 months once, SAP will release the bug fixes, some new security vulnerabilities, everything they will fix it, right? So to make our environment is stable status, and also to avoid any threats. So at OS level, security fixes and everything, we have to update. We have to make sure our OS level kernels are up to date.
That is part of maintenance. Right?
Maintenance activities. It's part of the maintenance activities. All are part of the
So,
maintenance activities.
so is there anything like code dump? I mean to say,
Yeah.
ST22 ABAP code dump.
Yes. Yes.
So
Sometimes.
runtime errors.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Right. So sometimes in the systems are running long time. So then sometimes you may face the some dumps related error, core dumps, bug fixes, some crashes. This one that results when you check with the SAP or when you Google it or when you go to the that release note information, you will come to know that issue which is coming in the system that is fixed in the next level of the kernel version. So that definitely we have to apply the kernel, right? So definitely you have to go for the bypass surgery means definitely you have to go for the bypass surgery. There is no way means there is no alternative option. Here also same. Definitely issue comes, the resolution of that issue is to fix the resolution of the issue is to fix the issues means definitely we need to fix the issues. So by applying the kernel, there is no way workaround they will give you, but workaround is workaround only. But the permanent solution, sometimes there is no workaround also. Permanent solution, we have to go for the surgery. In that case, we have to go for the apply the patch. Normally, when you visit hospital, the doctor will suggest, right? So if the workaround, maybe you can use the 3 months medicine, 4 months medicine regularly, sometimes like that. If they don't have the workaround to fix that issue, so what doctor will suggest, we have to undergo for the surgery, maintenance or body maintenance.
Okay.
So if the system is, if base is green, base is okay, then system will run without any issues. But the base is not okay, system will not be stable, it will be down. It will be down. Then go to the kernel release, kernel notes. Then you can see normally SGen we have to run it. SGen we have not executed. That's why we have this type of issues. You guys please schedule a SGen in the back end. This will run. Now you can see previously 740, 754 only, but 100 now we updated to the 200 patch levels. So whatever the 200 patch levels issues are fixed, if you are facing that issues, all that will be fixed here in the SAP systems. All will be fixed. So our 200 patch level we upgraded 754, 100 to 200 we have upgraded. So what is what we have in the 754 release version, we have updated 100 patch level to 200 patch level without any issue. So now after upgrading, you just execute some commands. You see some abnormalities, SICK. So some errors are reported. System is not coming up. Immediately there is no downtime also to fix the issues. Immediately you have to go to your old kernel. You have taken the backup of your existing 100 patch levels, right? Then go to the old kernel here. Then go to the old kernel. Then you can replace it. Just to copy, just to re-old this one and just copy this one to the new, then this will be copied. Otherwise, copy this one and replace it on the existing one. That is also downgrade. So kernel upgrade always downward compatible. We can downgrade to the previous version or that minus previous version also we can downgrade compatible. So that is the one. So either the patch upgrade or upgrade.
Could you please repeat, sir? I didn't understand. Sorry.
No. So kernel upgrade always downward compatible. Downward compatible means you are in the 200 level that is having some issues. then you want to go for the again 100 level previous version, then always you can go for the previous versions also.
Correct.
Right? So 100 level, so when you upgrade to this 100 to 200, 200 having some issues. The systems are not coming up. SAP systems are not coming up. In this case, you don't have any option. You don't have time also. Then in this case, you can roll back. Roll back means downward, 200 to
Previous state.
yeah, previous status. That is called the downward compatible. Upward, downward. That you know the two technical words of downward and upward. That we
Okay,
can do that one always. Okay. So this is about the kernel upgrade. Kernel upgrade. This is about the kernel upgrades which we have so done it. Right. So that is the procedure. So you can use the same kernel. You can do for the PRD system also. You can perform. Okay. You can perform the PRD system. PRD system you can perform it. Okay. So any questions from anyone here?